Good evening to everybody in Professor Kerber's class. I enjoyed speaking with you this afternoon about the Wiretap Act and some material on Westlaw and practical law that can help you out. Let's go live and show you now. All right. So here from the statute itself, and this drop down under citing references, you'll notice two things in practical law. This is because it's important to get a good sense of the Wiretap Act, and practical law is a great place to start. This first resource, even though it's written for employers doing electronic monitoring and surveillance, actually has a section over here, see it in number 2, that explains the Federal Wiretap Act. These underlined terms allow you to say, okay, there's actually two things here: wiretap, stored communications, pen register, even other potential causes of action that might be handy. Scrolling through this list here, links to primary law, links to key potential questions or issues. Keep in mind you can add notes and highlight and save things to folders, that button over there. And then again, a framework to say, okay, does the rule apply, does the exception apply, and things like that. You'll notice cites to things that are not 2520, like 2511, the definitions section. Very interesting. Click on that, go to that. Notice the red flag that shows you, hey, maybe there's some negative treatment. Maybe it was unconstitutional as applied in Hutton. Good to know. And then what else can you do? Graphical statute to show you what the version of the law was at a particular time. Important if you're looking at a cause of action that may have accrued previously. The notes of decisions that flesh out the major legal issues, exceptions, voluntariness of consent even. That's pretty handy. Remedies, things over here. And then, of course, citing references, which can take you to practical law. Doesn't matter how you start, matters that you get to all these things. And again, once you have something in the document, saving it to a folder. Yeah, fabulous. All right, some other things. Let's go back to the text of the statute, keeping in mind that practical law is a great secondary source, but it's not the only one. Citing references, secondary sources. Going to lay down a couple potentially very helpful ones for you. Keep in mind here, take a look at that. Look at the titles. Yeah, that one's super relevant. Also notice here, searching within results allows you to do a Boolean terms and connectors search, and then publication names over here. So for instance, if you're looking for forms, hey, we'll look at more of those in just a second here too, but just clicking on them brings them in, clicking on them takes them out. Let's take you into amateur evidence here. Sorry, cats in the background. Keep in mind, looking through some of these things connects you to the West Key Number Digest, although criminal law, probably not a topic that we care about super much. ALR, so there's actually a civil ALR and then a criminal ALR here as well. And of course, links to footnotes in cases, other pieces of primary law, observation, etc. Hit that table of contents button to pull up the full section. And in fact, wiretapping, general principles, exceptions, grounds for suppression. All of those things potentially issues in your case. Keep in mind that if you open up an ALR, it's basically a legal memorandum that covers all of the wrinkles in a particular issue. And in this one, potentially very useful because you will be looking for cases that benefit your client, but then the other party will probably come up with cases on the other side. And again, if you find stuff in one jurisdiction and you want to take it into the other one, hit change view, make sure your West head notes are on 2 columns. And then when you hit that very precise level and change the jurisdiction, you will have an incredible amount of cases in your particular jurisdiction, in your particular issue. Too much, not enough, use the hierarchy to navigate up and down, filter with these menus over here, and again, run a search within results. Finally, within the text of the statute itself, keep in mind that not only can you look for sources in that citing references, secondary sources, but if you have a go-to, if you have stuff that you particularly enjoy and like, guess what? You can run a publication name search over here. So you know that Westlaw has Amjur legal forms. I'm just going to type in forms on the topics of privacy and telecommunications. I've selected them there. I hit filter. Guess what you have now? Just those things. And in fact, complaint in federal court, violation of Federal Wiretapping Act in 2520, because that's what it's called, violation of state wiretapping statute, invasion of privacy, all that other good stuff. Click on that, add it to folder. Wow, it's awesome. Keep in mind, easy edit along the right allows you to download that form so that way you can work with it offline. Table of contents shows you maybe there's a particular wrinkle into it, maybe by employer against employee. Okay, interesting. There's also others that are related here. Questions about that, problems, whatever. Try the reference attorneys, their contact information at the bottom of any Westlaw page. Live chat during extended business hours. Telephone, my favorite. Email, although allow yourself some time to get a response, reference attorneys at thomsonreuters.com. Back to the homepage to wrap up. One final thing. Within the text of a statute on Westlaw, notice there along the side, those little white sheets of paper, that's super browse. Get yourself the text of the statute and the entire statutory scheme. Get the definitions, get the prohibitions, get the causes of action, get the defenses, understand it that way. Do the same thing with regard to this process that we went through: practical law, the graphical statute, the notes of decisions, and then other citing references in AMJUR, ALR, and West legal forms. Wow, awesome, easy, fun, straightforward, cool. My contact information along the side, message and connect with your account manager. If you're one of my schools, you can see my in-person availability at Lindy Hop Lawyer. You'll see it over there. And again, recaps from all the other classes that I teach and weekly giveaways from at West Law School. Thanks for watching. See you again next time. Bye.